Just previous period, we studied how to solve the problems, how to write the PMF of a binomial experiment with the help of suitable examples. I tried to explain you what is a Bernoulli trial, what is a binomial experiment, how to write the binomial distribution, and how to use to solve the problem. We completed one problem, and the second problem in the second problem I just gave you how to write the PMF, and the problem was it to complete it. Hoping you might have completed it. So in the last section of the binomial distribution, I am going to explain you what is a measure of a central tendency and what is a measure of the spread of the data about the mean position. We actually have studied earlier in the earlier standards as well. In the 11th standard we studied what is a mean, median, mode, etc. In just last topic, probability distribution, we studied the expected value or mathematical expectation. We studied what is a variance and we studied what is the standard deviation. If x follows the binomial distribution, how to find its expected value, that is mean, it is a mathematical expectation. How to find the variance? You know that variance represents the measure of a spread of a measure of a dispersion of a data about the mean position, and how to find the standard deviation. Of course, explaining the formula or proving the formula is out of scope of our syllabus. We are going to accept the formula directly and going to solve the problems based on this formula. First of all, expected value. First of all, expected value. Of capital X, or of course it is also a mean or mathematical expectation. Of course we studied that in the probability distribution, if x is a discrete random variable, then expected value E of x is equal to what is the formula for expected value that we studied? It is equal to sigma I is equal to 1 to n pi xi, and that is equal to p1 x1 plus p2 x2 plus p3 x3 plus dot 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 to plus pn xn. Here also, as if x follows the binomial distribution, it is a discrete random variable, we can use the same formula for expected value. But to use this formula, what we will have to do, we will have to find the probabilities for every x1, x2, x3 dot dot up to xn, and then only we can use this formula. So instead of this very simple formula, for expected value, if it follows the binomial distribution, will be n into p. It is exactly equal to n into p. What is n? N is number of independent and identical trials, Bernoulli trials, and p is the probability of a success. What is p? P is the probability of a success. So let's write very simple formula. These two formula are equivalent. It's here. We can use the same formula if even x follows the binomial distribution, but this will be very tedious one to use this formula. This formula is very simple one. So let's write the formula. If x follows binomial distribution with n comma p as the parameters. X follows the binomial distribution with n, of course x is a discrete random variable. If capital X is a discrete random variable, and x follows binomial distribution with parameters n. You know that what is n? N is where n is number of independent and identical Bernoulli trials And what is small p? Small p is probability of success. Then, even though I can write this in bracket, then expected value of x is given by n into p. Expected value of x is denoted by n into p. This is the formula for expected value. Expected value is also denoted by mu. It must be noted that number one, E of x can be denoted by mu. The second one, E of x is a mathematical expectation of capital X. That is, it is actually arithmetic mean. It is a mean or average value of x. Naturally, it represents the central tendency. It represents the measure of the it is a measure of the central tendency of the given data. Third, unit of E of x is same as that of x. x जे एकक असेल, x हा जो काही डाटा दिलेला असेल, जो डाटा दिलाय तुम्हाला, x हा रँडम व्हेरिएबल काय रिप्रेझेंट करतो त्याचं एकक आणि E of x चं एकक अगदी सेम असं असायला पाहिजे. Hoping you get what is the expected value. Then variance. We studied that for the discrete random variable, variance of x is represented by, is given by 1 upon, or it is equal to sigma I is equal to 1 to n pi xi square minus mu square, where mu is the expected value. Where mu is the expected value. We can use the same formula for here for the discrete random variable capital X, which follows the binomial distribution. But once again, it will be very tedious. We'll have to find the probabilities for every x. प्रत्येक x साठी मला probability काढत बसावं लागेल. आणि जर एखादा x जर binomial distribution follow करत असेल तर त्याचं probability distribution आपण फॉर्म्युलाने देतोय NCX वगैरे. आणि त्यामुळे प्रत्येकाची probability आपण काढलेली नाहीये separate. So using this formula will be very tedious one, but you can definitely use this one. But the more simple formula for variance of x will be, if it follows the binomial distribution, is it is equal to NPQ. What is N? N is number of independent trials, number of independent and identical trials, Bernoulli trials. P is probability of a success, and Q is probability of a failure. So very simple definition. If x follows binomial distribution with n comma p, then variance of x is exactly equal to NPQ. Then variance of x is exactly equal to NPQ, where n is equal to number of independent and identical Bernoulli trials performed in binomial experiment. P, that is the probability of a success, and Q, that is equal to probability of failure. Well, this is a variance. After variance, you know that what is the standard deviation. Standard deviation is actually nothing but the positive square root of the variance. Standard deviation is, it is denoted by sigma, and that is equal to positive square root of a variance of x. So of course it is exactly equal to square root of sigma I is equal to 1 to n pi xi square minus mu square. Earlier where we used this formula in the last topic, शेवटच्या टॉपिकमध्ये डिस्क्रीट रँडम व्हेरिएबलसाठी स्टँडर्ड डिव्हिएशन काढण्यासाठी आपण हा फॉर्म्युला यूज केला. पण डिस्क्रीट रँडम व्हेरिएबल एक्स हा जर बायनोमियल डिस्ट्रीब्युशन फॉलो करत असेल तर त्याचा व्हॅरियन्स एन पी क्यू न मिळतो. सो नॅचरली स्टँडर्ड डिव्हिएशन विल बी स्क्वेअर रूट ऑफ एन पी क्यू.